You heard it here first. Bitcoin is going to zero.
Zero.
Bitcoin is going to zero.
Zero.
You heard it here first. Bitcoin is going to zero. You heard it here first. Bitcoin is going to zero.
Zero.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another show with Trading with OC. And it seems like I'm blowing up your eardrums in here. Maybe sound effect is just too loud. Let me fix that. And test. Let me shout to the mic. There we go. I think that's good enough. Bingo Bango says, Trading Tuition in the chat. How's it going, guys? Welcome. Great to have you all, everyone here. Let me get started with you guys because today is going to be a great day. We're going to be looking at not what to trade right now, but what to trade throughout, maybe in the night. Keep your eyes peeled throughout 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning. You know the drill. People start dumping. Well, there's a part of the world start dumping things at 4 in the morning. And let's get it started. So we have first one in the chat. 2Dub, how's it going? Welcome, Train Tuition. Second first. Let's get it. Train Tuition, Bingo Bango. 2Dub, how is it going? Double shout out, of course. Kelly, how's it going, Kelly? Great to have you around, Kelly. By the way, how's TAO? Will you be able to catch some TAO lower down there? Let me know. Also, we have Speed. What's up, Speed? Welcome, my friend. Great to have you around. My buddy, how is it going? Who else? We got Melissa in the chat. KDGT, hey, what's up, brother? Welcome. Great to have you guys in here. Quick reminder, click that like button. It really helps with the algorithm. And let's go check out Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, other than rejecting, seems that we might have a good opportunity to maybe long it throughout the night. We'll see. Remember, today, Monday usually tends to be the relief rally of the weekend. Everything that happened throughout the weekend, we might be seeing, a couple of pumps, some shakiness, and then most likely throughout the night or throughout tomorrow, we're going to be having the real distance or the real movement actually playing out. So let's prepare for what might be coming tomorrow, and let's get it. Smash like for OC. Take it, KTGT. Really appreciate it, brother. Great to have you here. Missed the top. What is it? Miss TAO. Really? I was sleeping when the... Oh, yeah, it did. It went pretty late, though. But let's get it. Let's go to the charts. All right, guys, welcome. Let's take a look at a couple of things in here. Let's get started with Bitcoin. I want to go over gold also. And let's also take a look at SEC, Uni, and a bunch of other alerts that we have. Everything. But everything was pumping. I did mention that I would be looking to the charts throughout today, throughout the Saturday, but I didn't actually see anything like really outstand on Saturday other than a quick breakout. But other than that, well, then we're still on the breakout pattern, right? So nothing that important. So Saturday, Sunday. On Saturday, you'll see that we bottomed down. Well, that was important, but then we started to move slowly to up the top, right? Remember, this is our first fair value gap, all right? So that's why it's not that important. Right here, this is our first value gap. Then we also have on the way down, let's see, another fair value gap, and now we actually can mix those two. So 50-50, we'll be talking about somewhere around here, 117K. So let's get it. Hey, LBC in the house. What's up, brother? Welcome. We have Ludo Beach Crypto in the house. How is it going, my friend? Welcome. Let's get it. I see. Do we have anyone else in the chat? So far, I think that's it. Thank you, my friend, for jumping in. Really appreciate it. All right, so let's go check this out. And, well, we are on the quantum reactor purple area. So, very important. I mean, we're not red. That's fine. That's good. We are gray, which means on decision. Right? We're impacting that reactor, quantum reactor. So, just so you guys know, let me actually go ahead and turn that off. And then let's turn it on right down here. I think it will be much easier just to turn on and off it right down here, right? So, let's just wait for that to play it out. Perfect. And now we can turn it on and off. So there we go. So we have right here quantum reactor has played out the very first time. Breakout, retest, perfect. Our next opportunity Monday, that was 6 a.m., 5 a.m., 2 a.m. So not really trading this. Just so you know, I'm not into any trades in here. I did scooped in a couple of. There we go. Look at that juicy Bitcoin right here at 106, 102. And I also did on, there we go, 110, just so you guys know, all right? I did leveraged in, not leveraged in, sorry, scaled in as we were dumping. And right now it's back on my backs for saving, all right? So no leverage, just spot buys. That goes for my retirement. And everything else, well, we're going to be looking at it today. So this is where we left out today in the morning, all right? I know it's a little bit of a mess, but let's go and do it once again, all right? The first thing that we're going to be looking for, it was the BOS trade. As you can see, we are not yet on that BOS trade, right? We're trying to, but we just have a rejection. So no BOS trade for now. If you're looking for a long, we need to let go because our area of resistance is actually this triangle in here, right? So don't be surprised if we start waking up in here, which I don't believe that that's going to be the case. I think that we're going to be doing something like this, right? When we have some sweep of the lows and then we come back up. Maybe not quite lower, maybe not all the way to the support, but if we go all the way back down here, you'll see that we have a trend line here. Let me just shake it. There it is. This is the one, right? This one here. And let me just collapse a couple of stuff so we can see throughout all the mess. And well, then we have this low, maybe going through this area, well, maybe coming back down here. In fact, I think it's time to fix this trend line here. In fact, let's just remove it, and you'll see that we have a much more important trend line right here. Let's fix it. Bottom, perfect bottom. And I would even call it like try to push it up to this low. So there you go. That makes kind of like a much more sense, doesn't it? There we go. Let's actually lock that. Let's leave it. So then what's up with this low? All right, what's up with this line? This is a speculation line. All right, so far we do have a trend line. This is it. All right, and if we lose a trend line, I think we still have another support area. Remember, previous highs, all right, then become previous support resistances. So if we break down, it will not come to a surprise once again that we are within a possible, not quite there yet, in a possible bullish flag, right? So let's see if we have anything in here, right, in the middle, right? Let's actually refine that analysis a little bit. I'm going to keep this little thing in here just for now, and I'm going to get rid of all of these drawings. They're just kind of like in the wait for now. All right, so far, so good. Another important thing that I want to mention, just in case you missed it on the morning market report, there it is. We have a channel of entry, right? First, these lows, I mean these highs, right? Let me actually pull this thing out, and then I actually push it lower, slightly below. I don't want to do it that much, like that. Trying to catch this one, and a couple of other ones in here, right? So I think that is good enough. Actually, by accident, look at that, we caught this bottom line in here. So this bottom price action there. Let's also move this one through. There we go. Price action, and I think we got the same thing. We had a little bit of a disturbance in here, right? In fact, we are right there. So now it's time to start for me to start adding a couple of indicators. Let's get started first with that, my SMA combo. So far, so good, right? We have the resistance in here, the same as dynamic reactor. Perfect. No surprise in there, right? What else we have? Ooh, we have quantum reactor. Perfect. We got quantum reactor. Hey, Jesse, how is it going, Jesse? Great to have you around. Thank you, my friend, for stopping by. I know it's very late where you are, so shout out to you, my friend, and thank you for your support. Guys, really quick, click that like button. Really helps with the algorithm. All right, so right here we have our quantum reactor. Let's just turn that off. Let's go for support and resistances, right? So the area that we're looking into, right, it is, all right, what happens if we fail this zone? Well, we have this trend line. We have the support, all right. What else we have in there? Well, we have another support area here. And look at that. Now, it's a good area to start looking at this. Remember, that is a loud order block. But remember, what is our triangle of entry? Somewhere around that area. All right. So as you can see, not only we have a predictive, golden predictive range line in here. We also have what we manually called out for that little triangle entry. And then we also have a huge, big order block right here. Loud, a very sharply loaded to the bearish side. All right, so it is actually pushing into the bearishness. So once again, I mean, for this to happen, we will need a lot of volume. Again, let's not rule it out. It had happened. It will happen again. We just don't know if this is going to be it, right? But be aware that the loud order block, it is a resistance, a big resistance area. So when the price action start getting there, we should be looking for some rejection, all right? And then when we see that rejection, of course, at the next support. Steve Heike, what's up? Welcome, my friend. Great to have you around. Let's get it. All right, so let's go for the next thing here. What's going to happen? Let's zoom in. So we do have some support right down here. So let's clean this up once again, and let's bring this one up. I would say this two up. All right, perfect. So far, so good. All right. What are we going to be looking for? Well, we are, and this is what I was a little bit afraid of today in the morning, and it seems that that is going to happen. All right. Afraid, quote unquote. Which is, look at your oscillator. It's pushing up faster than your price action is actually moving. Your price action is basically, we just changed, right, candles in here. But practically, we haven't at all moved from the previous zone. I mean, we've been on this tiny itty bitty 1% zone for the whole day, right? It's just not been moving. So what are we going to be doing? Just waiting this out. If we start seeing that breakout, maybe break a structured trade, but better yet, wait for your rejection and maybe we can go for that short. Remember how that short went? Pretty good, right? And so far, macro scale, we're still within the huge range in here on the 4-day. Let's actually go to the 4 days. There we go. Let's clean this up. We're still... we are still within the same range in here. We haven't broke out of the range, all right? And we are below the dynamic reactor. This is very important. 4 days being below dynamic reactor and not dumping, that is freakishly huge, all right? So why is that? Let's go and check this out. Look at this ginormous range, all right? Look at that. We went below the 0 line and also below the quantum reactor, but we didn't dump, but we hold the line. What happens? Well, we get that volume mature, right? That those market caps mature, and then we blow up for the next possible movement. The same thing is happening here. We're not quite there yet ready, but I believe that the overall 4 days or even daily price action, it is bullish, all right? So just saying, I think that we are bullish overall. We're talking about the rest of this month, maybe pushing it up to the next area. But other than that, again, we need to trade the day on day, which means what is going to happen right now? Once again, looking for shorts, all right? Looking for shorts, but we're not going to be trading right now. We need to wait for confirmation. If I have a little bit more movement to the upside and I start seeing breakout, I'm still going to be looking for the retracement in my entry here. I want to rule out this area of danger, all right? Or I want to short that area of danger. But for me to short it, something needs to happen. What is that thing? Rejection and then breaking the previous highs or previous lows back again, right? Maybe engaging for a possible short for then maybe something like this, and then looking for that breakout somewhere around there, right? So just saying, keep your eyes peeled. We might have peeled because we might have a lot of shakiness throughout the market, but still, I believe that tomorrow we might have some interesting movement. Let's go check out SEC. All right, so SEC is much more clean and clearer. I'm gonna leave this because I'm gonna be talking about this tomorrow for Malik. Malik asked me to give a full explanation how we do the 1/4 of a trade based on numbers, right? And guys, remember, it took us 1, 2, 3 tries, right? So 1, 2 stop losses to actually get that beautiful trade right there. But remember, I was telling you, don't trust the markets, don't trust the markets. This takes me to the next thing, guys. Remember that we're doing 1/4 of an entry, right? One entry equals 3%. So 1/4 of a 3%, that is 7.5, all right? Or something like that. Sorry, no, well, that was basically if we have 7.5, if we had $1,000, all right? So, sorry, I just confuse it with this actual number. But the point is, 1/4 of 3, well, it's used to be 3 in quarters, and one of those parts is going to be your percentage of your whole wallet, right? Important. We are risking a little, all right? Look at your stop losses, look at your stop loss size, right? To gain a lot, look at how big of a movement we had, all right? So that played out very nicely all the way down to the resistance or the support, and then came back up. Something important is happening here. Yes, it's actually holding much better of what I expected it, all right? And for that, 1 second, I need to clean this up, so let's do it. Perfect. And right here, let me see if that was saved. Yep. All right, and right here, what I see, it is a pole with a possible bull flagging here, all right? We just need to wait for that peak performance diamond in here, all right? Look for your support, most likely right here where we have all of that volatility. Let's actually bring up our support and resistances. Let's see. There we go. We have something around this area. So maybe something like that. That will be our next opportunity to long it, as we have also flip of the ribbon. Your actual money flow is pretty sturdy. I mean, as long as we don't start like just losing money flow, I think that we're fine. We're completely fine. But this is actually something that is not sitting that well with me, because I mean, Zcash, it's not that it has a ton of developers behind it, right? And yeah, despite it is a security coin, well, I mean, real value at this point. I mean, a cycle ago, I was actually talking about Zcash, right? Usage on war zones, sending encrypted messages. But right now, we just have much other ways to do so, right? I don't know. Something might be going on in here. Let's take this with caution. Always quarter of a position, right? And we're going to be waiting for that flip of the ribbon. If we don't see a flip of the ribbon and the thing goes in here to this support, I mean, don't take it. Just don't take it, because most likely it's going to do a sweep downwards and then a continuation to the next support zone, all right? So keep your eyes peeled. Again, we're moving with cautious, all right? Even if we let go this trade, that's fine. Most likely, Tuesday, we're going to have a much better opportunity, right? Still, I believe something like around 3 hours from now, we must still have some movement. So it's 6 p.m. my time, 6:19. So somewhere around 10 p.m. Just so you guys are tracking. Let's go check out Uni. All right, so Uni, remember, we were looking at this diagram, and we have 2 things happening here. The first one was the bullish scenario, basically going up. It did went up to the resistance. Look at that, same area. And then coming back down, we lost it. Perfect, that's fine. We lost it. That was a stop loss. And then acceptance back into the range. Which range? This range. And then losing the support. That's it. There you go. You see that we're now having a retest. Are we going strongly downwards? That is your first area. Your first taking profit 1, taking profit 2, and then off we go. Let's clean this up, all right? And let's go and check out what is up now. Basically, all of the altcoins going to have almost the same pattern here, right? The same setup. First, this very steep trend line in here, all right? So we're going to be looking for breakouts out of that trend line. Breaking the trend line, breaking the trend. It's not all broken because then we have a big support. It's not all lost because we have a big support area right here and a loud order block right down there. So what we're going to be looking for, it is going to grab that liquidity, create a higher low in here, a meaningful higher low. And then if we see a bounce back up, breaking throughout these areas right here, well, then we might have another run up. All right. So I'm going to be looking for a possible entry right here. We already have our alert. Let's bring up. This is not a given trade, but this is going to be the first intention trade. So we're going to be aiming right here. Stop loss if we can get it. Right below that order block. And then we're going to be aiming. I know this is not going to be too big of a deal, but first TP right here and second TP. Gonna be, oh, don't do that all the way here to the dynamic reactor. All right, important, very, very important, and I need to write this down for you guys to remember, or for all of us to remember. It is that if we don't have confirmation, all right, we just don't do it. So basically, if we don't come back down and then we see a hiccup in here, we just don't take it. All right, another important thing that is happening, it doesn't seem to want to come back down. But if it doesn't come back down, I just plain and simple, I just don't have my entry, right? What would that solution be? Okay, the solution will be going to 30 minutes. On the 30 minutes, look at your flag out here. Something important, you're flagging out to the right, all right? Just like we did it here, and right here we had a goose hit, all right? So we want to see that flip of the ribbon. We have good volume. So we could be coming back down here, look at that same area, and then bounce back up in continuation. We might not get a all the way down to this area kind of deal. We could be having a previous highs target right here. Let me just flat this up. There we go. This is it. So keep your eyes if you want to trade uni, but I really wouldn't advise much on this one, and that is because look at its money flow. Right, so money flow has been decreasing a lot. All right, despite volume metrics still on good areas, we are also getting closer to areas of rejection. All right, so again, I wouldn't really do uni so far. We'll see how that goes though. It's nice always to keep an eye on this. So let's again add my alert, and of course gonna be adding an alert to this trend line here. Right, so let's actually lock this one and then add, there we go, an alert here. By the way, guys, welcome Drew. How's it going, Drew? Great to have you around, my friend. Thank you for stopping by. Really appreciate it. So there is 45 viewers, 21 likes, 17 likes. Click that like button, guys. It really helps with the algorithm. All right, so let's continue. Let's go. We have another unit chart in here. Same thing. Remember that we actually had that long in here. There we go. Played out very nicely. What we're talking about, right? The topping here, and then on the come back down, well, we have acceptance max into the range, and then the rest is story. So let's just clean this up. Let's go. Let's go and take a look at link, because oh boy, that link was one of those perfect entries. All right, so let's do it right here. We have our entry, right? At way up, 1/4 of an entry on the trendline rejection, on the range rejection. What was the range? If you are not up to date, that's fine. Remember, we look for areas of common rejection, right? Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Right? Let's go. All right, so we have taken this trade out. So that was a very fantastic trade. Let's clear this up, all right? And let's get back at where we are. So once again, as I told you, everything has exactly the same patterns. Like going up, getting to our rejection zones, all right? going up, getting to a rejection zones, right? We haven't broke through that trend line. Let's actually bring this up. You see that we have very close support areas, right? Let's see if we have anything else. There it is. And let's see if we have anything else. There we go. Again, another soft order block, right? So that might be telling us that we might have another run up, maybe like this, and then a continuation downwards. So the be going for it is an alert right here and waiting for that to happen, right? To come back down. I might be risking a 1/4 of an entry right there. Still unclear to me, but I'll decide right in a moment. What I'm gonna be looking for, all right, it's gonna be continuation pattern again. The little hiccuping here, right? Something like this to actually keep moving forward. So far, link, fantastic. One of the coins that I really want to go into, it is BNB. BNB, remember that was also, look at that. Remember, I was so mad at this. This was what we were looking for, right? This was our entry. And look at that. Look at that. Come on. Not taking that entry. That's fine. It was just scratching right that, razoring, the entry line. Not caught it. That's fine. That was a fantastic trade. Let me clear this up. And something that is going on really, that is happening really, that is amazing me a little bit, right? It's getting me by surprise. It is how quickly we are recuperating, not even Bitcoin, right? Again, I'm not saying that Binance is better than Bitcoin or BNB is better than Bitcoin. No. But it has bounced. It's above dynamic reactor. The volume area of dynamic reactor really helped a lot. It bounce with strength. And something important that we're having here, look at this inverted head and shoulders. All right, so let's just remove that because that doesn't really look that great, right? Does it? All right, so let's go for this same one. Let me just get rid of this, and we're gonna be recycling this trend line. It's still a pretty important trend line in there. There it is. I think this is good enough. All right, going from this bottom, going for this bottom, in between this low and this high. Perfect. Breakout, retest, continuation downwards. Right now, we're also going to be trying to go for, this is our neckline, all right, we already got it. And based on this neckline, because it's only a 2-point neckline, let's actually clone this and then just push it where we can go through many other candles in here, all right? So far, so good. We have our neckline. So right here, we're gonna be looking for first a short. I know it's an inverted head and shoulders, all right? But remember, if Bitcoin goes, everything else goes, all right? So so just so you guys know, just like when Bitcoin dropped, it pulled everything with it, all right? Same thing we're gonna be looking for. The first thing that we're gonna be looking for, not for short entering, all right? Just so you guys know, it's gonna be a short, all right? We're gonna be looking for peak performance diamond. All right, our peak performance diamond, we're going to be looking for that little goose head, and this is the important part. If we get a goose head here, we might have just a little retracement to position ourselves, have a higher low, right, and then break through. So be careful in this one. Be very careful in this one because BNB, they'll have a lot of run-up time, right? I mean, a lot of strength. But let's see if we have any kind of supporting here. And let's just bring up our resistance. Perfect. That is our neckline. There we go. Acting as a resistance, or actually playing out with a resistance. So we have any other support? Kind of. We're actually going through that support. So breakout, coming back for that support. That will make sense. Again, look at this. Oh, look at this area right here. A huge disparity. Again, on the same area. So coming back up, breaking through, right? And then coming back for a retest will make sense that this area holds, all right? So let me actually go for a more professional trend line in here, shall we? So let's go, and where is it? Come on. I think this is it. And there it is. All right, much better. Here it is. Let's close it. Let's add an alert to it. create it, and of course, let's lock it. So we also have right here, let me hide this for a second. We have a rising wedge. I mean, this is not a perfect rising wedge at all, especially counting this, all right? But if we just get rid of this outlier here, right, we can actually start looking at how the trend lines are making they're counting the piece, right? So just so you know here, this trend line is still very valid. How's it going? Welcome, my friend. Great to have you around. Who else we got in the chat? Let's get it. All right. So far this trend is still playing out. Beating the drums, right, for the piece or for the paste. And well, the next area of resistance is gonna be right here. Important. If we're looking for a short, again, peak performance diamonds, 1/4 of an entry, right? Your stop loss needs to be short position. Right here, stop loss very tight. Let's bring our predictive ranges. Come on, there it is. Look at that predictive range, and then a little bit above that predictive range. And that's going to be it. This is one of those trades like we had on SEC. Remember that we had like a stopped out here and another stopped out there, right? So this could be one of those. We're looking for a BNB short, and we might be getting stopped out. So use your stop loss, control your leverage, and of course, don't overtrade this, all right? The next thing that we're going to be looking for is in case we break out perfect with strength. Let's bring this up. Maybe not quite hitting this area. That I will say that too much to ask within one single movement. Especially right now. Let me see if we have... Oh, there it is. Much better. All right. This makes much more sense. Coming back down. Your entry for a long, having a flip of the ribbon above the zero line, and boom, shakalaka. All right. So you should be prepared right now for whatever it happens right here on the chat. So, sorry, here in the chat. I'm just reading the chat. Right here on BNB. So be prepared, right? Let's add our alerts, of course. Let's lock them. Let's lock them. Let's add alerts. And let's add another alert here. Okay, so let's add, where is it, the alert thing? Perfect, create. And this alert just created out of nowhere. Come on. The alert. Oh, so where's the... Oh, I see. This is the one I'm missing. All right, perfect. All right, that's gonna be it. We already have another one in here. Perfect. This one, just get rid of it. Just delete it. And that's because we already have the trend line as an alert. All right, perfect. Let's just clean this up because LBC is right. We're just having too much spaghetti in the charts and might not be that necessary. All right, so let's try to clean this up. Maybe something like this. And I don't know. I need to start using the other tool. All right, Kelly, can you look at Solana? Absolutely. In fact, I got it right here. Ready to go. All right, Solana. We're talking about, well, that we have another a low volume movement in here. Something important about Solana. This is the 30 minutes. All right. It is that it's looking very wimpy. I don't know. Yes, we can get all the way to 213. That wouldn't be a surprise, right? We're still within this range. In fact, now, or when I analyzed it, we were right here, okay? Having a very small volume here. Let's compare it to what happened right down there, all right? We have a little bit more volume, more structure, yes, more volatility, but it ended up having some sweep of the lows, right? Then a lower high. That's what I would like to see in here. Even if we go and hit this area, that wouldn't change that much. I mean, if we just actually just bend this a little bit, you'll see that it still works just fine. And then if I start grabbing these lows, and then there we go, the bodies, there we go. We're still within the same overall shape, right? Not much of a surprise. So the point is, hey, let's look at what happens once we get at 212. Based on our oscillator, we are on the way down, right? We are almost right there, getting ready to either break or have a flip of the ribbon. So in this case, I would actually recommend looking at your Prime Oscillator Plus, all right? And another one that I could actually recommend is, look at that. We have tiny, tiny candles, right? But also, let's go back and check this out. This is what I was explaining a little bit before. There it is. Right? We have some tiny candles in here, and then we still have that run up. Same pattern. You see that? Same pattern. Going up, breaking through, having some tiny candles and some exhaustion in the market. Just be careful for this last part. That last part, I believe, it is where we are at this point. Like right here, right? I think we still can go a little bit farther up. The only thing that I would actually long this, it is one, if we have a big retracement. Let's go and take a look at where. There it is. We have a trend line. Perfect. Breaking the trend line. Maybe my first area of retracement would be here. But then I have my dynamic reactor. I have this other trend line in here. All right. And also, I have a support. So my next area would be right there. Let's add those ones. So those are the very first two things that I will be looking for a retracement to long. In fact, I would actually will be risking it here, 1/4 of a position, right? But the other way around, if it breaks out, well, let's just wait to hit this, or let's bring up predictive ranges. Oh, we don't have them. All right, well, if you do, we do, but it's all the way up there. All right, so too far away. So let's use what we have in here. Maybe this area, all right? Fine. Do I have anything else? Yes, there's resistance. All right, fine. Much better. So even if we get here, then the retracement to the trend line, that will be my go area to then hit this off. Again, I would need to let this area go. All right, if I'm not trading lower time frames. Why? Because we're just aiming up. I mean, yes, I can buy the breakout, but again, it's going to be exactly the same thing, right? Just don't round trip. So just look at this one, doing great. I mean, best area of entry is 206, 200, 200. Let's go and check out, for example, our alerts in here. Red Nugget, what's up? Crypto Blood, how's it going? Great to have you around. How's it going, Blood? Nice to have you. Dennis, what's up, Dennis? Welcome, great to have you. All right, so right here, let's go to useless. We got, oh my goodness, let's go actually to the 4 hours. Useless coin, of course, being useless. I mean, what else? Remember what we were talking about? Breakout retest. We actually went even lower on that retest. There we go. We are recuperating just fine. Let's clear this up. And let's bring up our predictive ranges and support and resistances. I know it's a little bit overwhelming, this one. Let's actually try to get other stuff in here. Yeah, like predictive ranges. Perfect. So we have broken the golden line. So most likely we're going to be coming back down to the blue line. So that will be, look at that, almost tiny candles. Almost time to short it or wait for the price action to retrace a little bit, all right? And I will be looking for something maybe like in here or like in here, where we have a little bit of that retracement and then continuation, right? So that's what I might be looking here, retracement and then continuation to this area. But still, useless might be the first one to drop. Look at that. If we have a Bitcoin crumble down. Let's go. All right, let's take a look at something else. TAO. I was talking about TAO today morning. Look at that, Kaylee. Look at that. Kelly Fat, where it's a huge fan, if I do remember correctly, of TAO. It has just pumped all the way up here, right? After the big dump. So catching some lows in here would have been fantastic. But right now to sell out. Right now is not the time to jump in, all right? We need a retracement. What kind of retracement? Right now we're flooding this out and we are way up there. I mean, look at where we have peak performance before, right? That this peak performance might be a good opportunity to short or to range out and then continuation with the trend, all right? So we'll see what happens in here because we are on ranging zones based on our retail money entries. All right, so our big disparity. So once again, I'm gonna be looking for some ranging and then deciding what to do after that range out. But in the meantime, I'm gonna be looking for that smart money entry right here. I'm gonna be trying to get in there, in fact, a little bit higher like that on this smart money entry. Take a look at volume. I think will be much better here. And then, well, we are already into that area, but I still want to go into the next one right there. There we go. And I'm gonna be trying to trade this range. So TAO, it's right now on my mind. We'll take a look at how that goes tomorrow. And I want to go over a couple of other coins. I don't know if we should be looking at them today. I mean, I want to go over Hype. Let's just do a quick recap here, right? Hype hasn't developed as great. So we could be having a rejection at $44. All right, so something in there really quickly. We're just going to go there. That's just to keep you guys alert. Okay, not trades so far, but if we get there, we're going to be looking again for rejection, peak performance. We're going to be looking for flip of the ribbon, so on and so forth. You guys know the drill, right? AVAX is another one that I want to look into because it has not moved at all, man. It died, by the way. Remember, danger, weren't fourth of an entry. Remember this trade, all right? And I already have taken some profits in this one, but the thing, it just doesn't want to leave anymore. It's just so hilarious of this at this point. We have our POC right here, up above here, all right? So somewhere around 24.41. So I just don't want to make that much fun of AVAX. Might be giving me a surprise. I mean, but so far, AVAX, it just doesn't have the strength anymore, man. It just died. Short Hype at 44. Got it. BT, what's up? Be careful with Hype, bro. Be careful with Hype. And last but not least, let's go take a look at Grass, which again, it's a meme coin and it's again not pushing up at all. So Grass might be one of those ones that we could be looking for a rejection. Look at this huge bar. We cannot ignore that, right? So we'll see both into these smart money entries, right? Let's just wait for it. Again, the flip of the ribbon, peak performance diamond. And that's when we're going to short it. Maybe, and with a lot of luck, going below 0.4. So that's about it. Let me just add an alert on Grass. Grass, most likely we're going to be opening up a position, and I'm calculating it, right? Somewhere around, I don't know, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, something around those days. But that is going to be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Remember, keep it calm. Most likely we're going to be having 1 or 2 entries up around, I don't know, within 4 hours. Also, keep your eyes around 2 in the morning. It's been like a ticking clock. 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, dump the market. 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, they dump the market. We'll see if that bot or whatever is still alive. And, well, we're going to be trying to catch that little retracement if that happens, all right? That usually happens in the 15 minutes time frame. So just so you guys know, and you can, maybe take care of it. So other than that, guys, thank you so much for joining. Let's see you guys tomorrow. And most likely tomorrow is going to be a very, very exciting day with some trades already in our pockets. Guys, thank you so much. See you guys tomorrow.
Bitcoin is going to zero.
Over.
You heard it here first. Bitcoin is going to zero. You heard it here first. Bitcoin is going to zero.